So I wanted to show you some ways that you can strengthen your chest and shoulders. You can do more push-ups in 11 weeks if you're doing the competition. First of all, you definitely want to make sure that your shoulders and chest area are warmed up and ready to do your push-ups. I'm just going to show you a few ways that you can do that, and then I'll show you how you can really work on strengthening to get more push-ups in a few weeks. All right, so here we go. So if you have a TheraBand, I recommend a fairly light one to warm up the inside of the shoulder so that you're prepared to do the push-ups and you don't injure yourself. So palms up, take a hold of the TheraBand. If you don't have a TheraBand, you can absolutely do this without any kind of resistance. But if you do have a TheraBand, again, it's fairly light. You want to be working the little muscles inside of your shoulder. You start getting too heavy, your traps are going to take over. Some of the bigger muscles will start to take over. I'm just going to go ahead and take like a 90-ish degree angle on those arms. Elbows stay fairly close to my sides. What I'm not doing is this. So the rotation is inside of my shoulder. And you'll notice I'm not rounding, doing anything with the rest of my body. I'm just keeping everything else quiet, everything else still. I'm not jutting my rib cage out. It's just the movement from my elbows, externally and internally rotating the shoulder. So we can do that palms up, and we can also do it palms down. Try not to get funky with the wrists. So fairly flat wrists. And again, if I didn't have a TheraBand, I could just do the same thing, palms up and palms down. Still working to warm up the inside of the shoulder. All right, good. So then we can take, we usually use these around our ankles a lot of times, a mini band, same thing. If you don't have one, this can be done without, but if you do have one, it's a pretty light one. So grab your lighter band, and then we come elbows and forearms against the wall. I'm going to put a little bit of pressure on that band, so I'm already feeling some resistance, and then I'm going to slide up and down the wall. So I'm not going to let the resistance come off because then I'm not really doing what I want here. So a little bit of resistance on that band and I'm sliding up and down. Same thing, if I didn't have it, I could still do the movement. There's just a little bit of added benefit when I've got the band around my wrist. Okay? So up and down, maybe 10 or 15 times. And then we'll turn around and we'll be doing a wall slide, no added resistance here. So I'm going to try to press my big hands against the wall here. And then it's kind of like a snow angel sort of a thing with my arms. So not out like this, although that would also be okay, but we call this a wall slide. It's almost like a wide shoulder press. And I'm trying to push my hands against the wall and the backs of my arms against the wall. They may or may not touch. That's just the effort that you're making without straining. Again, we're just trying to warm up the insides of those shoulders without using the big muscles to do the movement. We're going to add one thing. So reaching up, coming down to about 90. Elbows stay against the wall. We do an internal and external rotation of the shoulders. Let the arms roll forward and back and up and down. And there are so many different wonderful warm-up / strengthening exercises that we can do for the inside of your shoulder that will help you keep your shoulders safe while you're doing push-ups. These are just some, and I will continue to give you more and more as the weeks go on. So we had that external rotation with the TheraBand, palms up and palms down, with or without the TheraBand. If you don't have one, you don't have to use one, but if you do, please, a light one. And then we had that wall slide with the mini band around my wrists, facing the wall, sliding up and down. And then we have the wall slide with my back against the wall, no resistance. We go up and down for a handful, and then we add in that internal and external rotation. All right, so then we can do a little warm up for the shoulder with our balls. So 1 or 2 balls right on that shoulder. And again, I'm just going to show you the one today, but there's so many things that we can do for the shoulder, chest area to get it ready to work and keep it safe while we're doing our push-ups. So I'm just rolling up and down, and again, I might have it 2 balls inside my toes, or I might just do a single ball. That works too, and it will work the area differently depending on what you choose. So I'm able to do some circles a little bit easier if I'm doing just a single ball. Up and down, I can move my actual arm through a range of motion. So I press against there, and then I move the arm. And of course, both sides, take your time, no rush at all. So I usually recommend no less than 90 seconds on an area and up to 5 minutes. I don't think I even quite did 90 seconds on that first side, so you may want to pause the recording and do a little bit more. Just want to make sure you get lots of wonderful opportunities to do your very best, whether you're doing the competition or not. All right, so that's our little warm up for the shoulders. Now let's go ahead and show you some things you can do to get stronger. So there's lots of ways that we can get our bodies stronger for doing more push-ups in our 1 minute time. So one way we can do that is to actually take a similar setup. So many of you did these on an elevated surface. I'll demonstrate on this elevated surface as well as on the floor, but to do them super slow. So we're trying to do as many as we could in a minute with our little competition, but if you do them super slow, you build a lot of strength, and then when you go back to do them regular pace or quicker, they're going to be a lot easier. So always when we're doing our push-ups, as we know, a little external rotation, elbows go back. They don't wing out to the sides. We don't dunk our head. We don't dunk into our bellies. We want to keep perfect posture so that everything stays safe. So if I take this elevated surface, just like I did maybe in my original testing, I might go super, super, super slow and then tap. Now, if I got stuck down there, I would just put my knees down and then come back up and do it again. In fact, I would rather you do that than struggle or do anything weird to get back up. You would hurt yourself. So super, super, super slow. Then maybe I put my knees down and then come up. Same thing if I were on the floor. I could go super, super, super slow, tap the ball. Maybe I come to my knees and then come back up. Super, super, super slow. And then again, I might come to my knees and come back up. Other options, I could double pulse. So down, down, up. Double pulsing is always harder than the single reps. So then when I go back and do single reps later, it's going to feel a lot easier. Down, down, up. Down, down, up. Other ways you can make it more challenging while you're doing your strengthening now is to lift a foot up off the floor. So I go down and up, down and up. That actually works the core a lot more too. So I might do a handful on one side and then a handful on the other side. So those are ways you can use actual push-ups to get stronger in your push-ups. So super slow, double pulse, or adding something like lifting a leg or something like that. Okay? So other ways you can strengthen your chest and shoulders for your push-ups coming up next. So I've mentioned this before, but some of you may or may not realize that a push-up is a chest press. You're just doing it with your body. So how can I strengthen my push-up? I could do some chest presses with dumbbells. And again, building strength, really developing strength, you want to slow everything down. So we want to max out our reps. So use a heavy enough weight that we're really challenged by like 10 or 12 reps. You could also do drop sets, of course. Those are going to be really challenging, but slow everything down and or double pulse, which doing a double pulse does slow everything down anyway. So same position of my elbows and my hands so that I don't hurt my chest or shoulders. And then we bring it up. And then let's say I go super slow on the way down, or I double pulse. And again, I might choose to do a drop set on these, which would mean I'd find a weight that would be really challenging. I'd be challenged by 6 or 8 reps, and then I do the next lower weight and do 6 to 8 reps. And then I do one more round, 6 to 8 reps. That's another way to really build strength. So chest press, that's what I just did. And those are an awesome way to build strength for your push-ups. The other one is to do flies. These are with dumbbells. Of course, any of these can be done with a cable or a band also. Now I could double pulse these as well. So pulse, pulse, lift, or just go super slow. And yes, again, of course, drop set is an option here. So chest and shoulders, super important to strengthen if we want to really be able to max out our push-ups the next time we do them in 11 weeks. What else is involved? The core. All right. So please finish up whatever set you're working on those if you're doing them with me. And I definitely recommend doing at least 3 sets total. Core. So push-ups are basically a plank also. So any type of planking exercise is going to help you with your push-ups. That could be on a ball, it could be on the floor, it could be on your wheel, it could be on slides. So any kind of planking type activity would also be super beneficial for building strength for your push-ups. So planking, always anti-extension. Just going to use the ball this time. But any type of plank is going to be beneficial for you to help you with your push-ups. Now, this is also one of the activities we're doing as a test, our plank hold, but it will also help you with your push-ups to strengthen the core here. Any kind of movement with the ball, perhaps, or you could just hold. So muscles to build for your push-ups, chest and shoulders, using actual push-ups, doing a chest press, doing flies. And then the last one that we want to focus on is the front of the shoulder, because that's really involved also. And that is going to be A V raise would be a really wonderful option for that one. So on our V raise, we always squeeze those shoulders back before we start, and then we draw a V with those arms, nice and slow and controlled. No rolling of the shoulder forward, squeeze the shoulders back. And we go up and down, up and down. And there's many, many more things I could show you, but we'll just call it for today. So make sure you plenty warm up the shoulders and the chest area before you do any of these strength exercises. Super important. And then you strengthen, slow and controlled. All right, let me know if you have any questions, guys. Have a great day.